All right, we're back. Another month in the books. I thought I was going to do this sooner, but I didn't. So we're back on the month schedule. Maybe one day I'll ramp it up, but I think this is fine for now. But yeah, another month in the books. Pretty good. Um, Gonna just talk about my training plan, how I've been feeling, and then we're doing a little focus on the swim today. Talk about swimming. Um, I weighed about midday today, and I was 200 pounds, which is heavier than when I weighed myself a month ago, which is a little surprising, different times of day and whatever, but I thought I lost some weight, but apparently I've actually gained some weight. So not sure what to make of that, but that that is what it is. So anyway, let's take a peek at the old training plan. All right. Hopefully that's big enough. If not, doesn't really matter. But here's June. All the workouts done officially with the swim this morning. So I'm on a kind of 3 week cadence for running and biking. So you can see I did 8 miles 3 weeks in a row running, did 30 miles 3 weeks in a row biking as my long ones, and then I ramp it up. So plus 2 miles every 3 weeks for running, plus 10 miles every 3 weeks for biking. So now I'm on coming up here this week. I'll have my third 10-mile run and 40-mile bike ride. Then I'll be 12 and 50. So I'd say the jump in running from 8 to 10 miles felt easier than the jump from 6 to 8, which I guess makes sense. It's a less percentage increase. They're working out for a little bit longer. So I think the running's going pretty good. I'm happy with my times. The biking, I got my bike trainer, but I'll talk about biking another time. I don't know if I'm not loving my bike times when I actually go out and bike, but we'll see. I'm not loving biking in general. Swimming, I'm just basically adding 100 meters every week, which is 4 extra laps in the pool. Really not bad. And then I've got my intervals I was talking about. They kind of alternate every 3 weeks after recovery run. You can see I kind of make my off days fit based on what else is going on, but hitting 6 days a week. I'd say on schedule, like I said, I feel good about the running. I feel good about the swimming. The biking, I feel the least good about, but we'll get there. And it's mostly I feel pretty slow on the bike. And it just feels like a long time. And doing 40 miles, realizing I have to do another, 75 after that seems bad. But um, we'll get there. We still got some time. We are 4 months away, basically. So yeah, that's the plan. It's all been done. Um, so yeah, swimming. We'll talk about swimming. So, swim at this very exclusive club called the YMCA, in Decatur. Yeah, that's for Pat Hannon. Kara still comes with me, which is lovely. Um, it's mostly a real big plus for me because it's kind of crowded and we often have to share lanes. And I much prefer sharing a lane with somebody that I know than a stranger. So that is nice. But let's take a look.
Ducking in to say hey to the fans. Want to make this clear that this is not a hostage situation. I think Jack got some of that feedback last time. It seemed like maybe I was holding him hostage. This is not the truth.
I don't know if that's gonna help. Anyway, um, the swim. So here is the map, and literally this was news to me, like as of 3 weeks ago, that this was the swim course, which I don't know what that says about me, but you go up, out around the pier. Obviously, you go past the pier. get out, do so. Do you do this twice? I had thought you just gone out and swam 2 miles and came back in. This makes much more sense. So you start and end at the same place. All the staging areas are the same. Um, I guess this is good. You go with and against the tide an equal amount of time. I kind of like that you get out here, right? You get that little bonus, like you get out of the water, you get to stand for a little bit. Hopefully can body surf in a wave. I don't know what kind of the wave situation on the golf is. I don't think there's much of any. But yeah, so that's the swim. We'll see. Have not done any open water swimming. I don't have any plans for it yet. I'd like to do something, but I haven't found just that yet. Last time I did an open water practice swim that was a mile, a race up in the Finger Lakes before I did the swim. Um, I found like the whole sighting thing where you're trying to see where you're going. I didn't think that was that big of a deal. I just found somebody in front of me and followed them that I felt was going about the pace I wanted to. But I do think I should go out there and do it. But yeah, that's the course. Little Google Maps, nice and green water here. Hopefully, we don't get out to whatever this stuff is. Looks kind of rough out there. Maybe it's just the way the picture's rendering. Okay. But yeah, that's the swim. Kick off pretty early, 2.4 miles. I've got my brand new, stop sharing my screen, brand new wetsuit, Xterra. Uh, yeah, I put it on once. Honestly, it was a nightmare putting it on. I think like I gotta get it wet. I gotta take a shower beforehand, stretch this thing out a little bit, because it took me like 15 minutes to put this on the first time I put it on. But apparently that's normal for wetsuits, especially new ones. You don't want it to be loose. Um, and honestly, they're like kind of a cheat code. So um, I don't feel like I need too much practice doing it. You get this like extra float. You just kind of sit on top of the water. And there's pretty good arm mobility, so I don't really not worried. I went full long sleeve because I figure I know I was debating whether going like sleeveless, but I want just a full sleeve. That's what I did last time, so I guess it's just like a little bit of comfort. I borrowed one from Chris Webb. Shout out to Chris Webb. Um, but got my own now, so gotta take it for a spin at some point. Keep you all posted on what that is. Like I said, I have no plans yet, but I'll figure something out. Um, Another question I got asked this weekend, I was talking to Kayla Miles, shout out to Kayla, about swimming and whether or not when I do laps, I push off the wall. And I do. And my theory is that, and I think I proved it out when I did the actual race and my open water swims, that yeah, I basically got the same time as I do in the pool. Because I think like the momentum that you lose turning around negates itself pushing back off the wall. So I do, I don't just stop and kind of turn. I do just push off the wall. Another thing that the lifeguard at the YMCA, he's just this old guy. They said he did Ironman Hawaii in like the 80s. He's there every morning. Uh, nice guy, but he commented that I always like breathe over my left shoulder, which I still do. I don't think it's a big deal. I'll throw in some breaths over the right shoulder just to appease this guy, and I guess to practice. But I don't know. I don't know what anybody else does, but I do every 4 breaths over the left shoulder. I find that works. It gets me in the best rhythm. I like when I'm going back and forth like every 3 or every 5. It's not as comfortable for me. It feels like I'm breathing too frequently or not enough. And so I'm gonna keep rocking with that. But yeah, that's what's going on. I right now I feel pretty good. Probably have to ask me day by day. Like Saturday, after I had run Friday, biked Saturday, I was definitely feeling it a little bit in my legs. But I'm recovering pretty well. We'll see. Like that's doing like serious mileage just yet. Like I said, I'm at 10-mile runs, 40-mile bikes, interval work in between. So we'll see when we ramp up. I think really like the 60-mile bike ride, 14-mile run is gonna be that's when I would be, well, not worried, but I think that's when it gets quite serious. In terms of commitment, and some of my interval work is ramping up starting this week, as well as in like doing another set along the way, each workout. So yeah, but going well. I'll try and check in a little bit sooner, but yeah, thanks for tuning in.